Hey everybody, it's Sean here, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a product review. I do a lot of underwater video and photography work, and a lot of times the equipment for that can be very expensive. And so today I'm going to talk to you about what I use and how I keep it on a budget. There's nothing like being underwater and being able to capture what you see to share with others. So that's why I love doing photography and video work. Now this video is shot from a GoPro, but in my hand you can see the camera, housing, and lighting system that I'm going to talk about today. And all of it comes in under $1,000. So this is the Olympus Tg 870, and it is a tough camera. It's 16 megapixels with a 5x zoom on it, and it has really been my sort of go-to camera for the last 11 months for doing underwater work or anything around water, canoeing, kayaking, backpacking with rain, which, you know, that happens. And it's really one of those great tough cameras and versatile. It can be dropped from about 3 feet. It can be taken underwater for about 50 feet without any other housing. It's waterproof up to that point. I have taken it underwater, about 20-25 feet, and it's worked just fine as is. The other neat thing about it is it does have a flip up view screen, which is great for doing vlogging in the field, especially if you're trying to do audio, because the audio on this thing is actually pretty good too, especially considering it's waterproof for 150 feet. That is usually a combo that doesn't work very well, but it actually manages pretty well. In fact, most of the audio I've taken over the last year has come from this camera, and it's worked out pretty well. It's not as good as audio, obviously, in a studio, but pretty impressive, all to speak. So like I said, this has really been a great camera. The cost for this camera, I spent about $300 on it. Now I do believe they are transitioning into a new version of this, the TG5, and that is a little bit pricier. I think it's coming in around $400 right now, but you could probably wait and get it at $300 in a couple of months. You can also still find some of the TG 870s on Amazon for about $350 if you look for them as well. So there are some options out there, but for what it does, it's pretty solid. Now, of course, I do a lot of underwater video and photography, diving and snorkeling, and what I've found, of course, because I have flooded my number of cameras in the past, that I went ahead and purchased the underwater housing. Now, this underwater housing comes from Olympus. It's the PT57 Tough. It basically has a rotating locking mechanism with an O-ring. You can access all of the camera's bits and parts and buttons using the housing itself, so it's really easy to use while you're underwater. Not to mention, it's easier to hold on to a larger camera underwater. It allows you to steady your shots a little better, not to mention, it's harder to lose, which is also a good thing as well. So this combo has worked really well for me. The housing is about $250 or so on Amazon, and so the combo between the two cost me about $600, but I'm sure you could range between maybe a little lower than that to maybe a little higher than that, depending on what's out there in the deals around. But still a very good combo deal for doing underwater work. Now, I was not completely satisfied just with this, partly because when you do underwater work, color and lighting is an issue. And the nice thing about the TG 870 is it does have some underwater modes that helps you compensate for some of those issues, and it does a pretty good job. However, if you've been underwater before, you'll note that you do get a lot of blues because you lose the reds, those vibrant colors in the surface waters. So one of the ways to bring them back is a light. And I searched for a long time to decide what kind of lighting I wanted to get, and I ended up with the SeaLife SeaDragon 2300 lumen light, and this thing is pretty powerful. You can actually see it right there. It'll blind you for a little bit if you look at it directly, but underwater it's really nice. It's got a wide beam, and the entirety of the light plus the arm and the tray that screws into the camera housing cost about $300, just under actually. And so you basically will take the mount screw and put it onto the camera tray here for the light, and now you've got a one-piece camera and lighting system for approximately $900-ish. And that is a pretty darn good cost and a value. It allows me to get some nice close-ups, especially with the lighting, and it allows me to get some distance shots. It allows me to do just about everything you want. The nice thing about this lighting tray system too is that it is disconnecting. So I can take the light off, I can take the arm and the light off. So for example, if I'm trying to shoot in a particular area where I want lighting from another angle than here, I can now take that off and angle that light anywhere I want, which was really nice. And now I've only had the light part of this for about a couple of months now, but it's really growing on me and I really do like it a lot. However, just the solid camera and the housing has worked for me for the better part of a year, and I'm very, very pleased with it. It is not the best camera in the world, it doesn't have the best abilities in the world, but for a point and shoot style camera with lots of pluses and the ability to go underwater with it, I'm very happy, and I would definitely think other people would be as well. So I wanted to pass that along with you guys. Leave me comments below. Do you have cameras that you like doing underwater work with that keep you kind of under a cost or a budget? I'd love to hear about it. And of course, I'll leave you with some parting shots that I've taken with this wonderful system as well. And of course, if you enjoy this kind of content and you like underwater adventure and outdoors adventure, check out my channel, subscribe, click that like button, and leave comments below. And of course, until next time, keep exploring.